Hello everybody and welcome to another Pathfinder Plays, and today I want to talk to you guys about a game that I am excited for and we've been waiting for called Dead Matter. Now, Dead Matter is labeled as a true sandbox survival horror where players will need to fight to survive in a zombie-packed post-apocalyptic world that fosters whichever playstyle fits you best. It is a roguelite that aims to quench the community's thirst for a title that properly balances survival mechanics with fulfilling gameplay. Now, the game has been highly anticipated to survival genre fans, and the proof of this is the fact that the Canadian-based development team was hoping to get $60,000 on Kickstarter and actually surpassed that and was gifted $286,000. That was 4 times more than expected, and they have only been given even more money. The estimated release date as of right now is February timeframe for backers, maybe a month later for everybody else on Steam Early Access. Now, the game itself looks fantastic and polished, but has some more work to do. The rest of this video is going to be in depth as to what you can expect from this game of right now. Side note, I gathered all my information from watching the development logs on Dead Matter and Dead Matter News on YouTube. I will have their links in the description below, and I would suggest watching their stuff because it's very informative. And I will also include a Dead Matter master list, and I will keep that link in the description below because I got a lot of information from there as well. So let's get on into it, guys. The world and the setting. Now, the details we have been given about the story are vague here, but I know lots of the story, context, and setting are wanted to be filled out by notes and NPCs found throughout the game. It will be set in the early 2020s at the World Games massive event that is hosted in Calgary and its transmission vector. Initial reports in NA are covered up, and the infection is managed entirely in the dark. The world starts falling, and then the rest of the planet tears itself apart. The map size is a pretty decent sized 400 kilometers. The minimum player base they want on each server is 60 to 80. Now, if you have your own server and it's able to support more than that, then it can support more than that. But at minimum, they want 60 to 80 players on a server. And also, for all the RTX fanboys out there, this game will support ray tracing eventually. That was confirmed by one of the developers in the Discord channel. Now we'll be going into the infrastructure just to show you guys how huge this place is, how much depth this game is going to have, and keep in mind that the infrastructure I'm listing here isn't all of the infrastructure. They're still developing. So as far as housing, just general housing, electric powered items such as lights must be plugged into outlets to function. They can be powered on and off individually or in groups using the fuse box. You can also shoot out lights and even close window blinds to hide from players or zombies. And now I'm going to go into the types of infrastructure they have as of right now. And of course, like I already said, this is subject to change. You have cabins and outhouses found in the wilderness. You have warehouses used to find crafting supplies and can even be used to house multiple players. Players can also build inside of the warehouses and make it their own. They've added a church which has a hidden office with goodies, has a bell tower as well, which who knows what that could be used for. Could you want to attract zombies or players maybe to harvest some goods? Or maybe you want to use it as a signal to try to tell your friends that, hey, everything's gonna be okay. Probably not. Maybe you can use it for an ambush. Maybe you're getting attacked in the church and last ditch effort, you're out of ammo, you climb up into the bell tower and just ring that bell with all your might and hopefully you get some aid from zombies. But then you're surrounded by zombies, so who knows. Another building they added was the police station, which has an armory with mid-level gear such as weapons and armor. It is the second largest building, and it comes complete with offices, cells, evidence locker, and a one-way mirror and interrogation room for all of you roleplay junkies out there. There is also a very large NERA evacuation center. There's going to be multiples of these on each server randomly generated, and this is kind of like where the people who were surviving would go to try to get aid, emergency help. I'm pretty sure NERA stands for National Emergency Response Agency. Be prepared for that place to be filled with zombies. However, guys, it contains lots of medical supplies, so it might just be worth it to fight through those zombies to get what you so desperately need. Number 6 is going to be the Watchtowers, which can be made home, and they are very tall. Good sniper positions. You'll be able to see people coming from all miles, all directions. There is a pizzeria, which has ingredients for food and crafting. Clothing store, which plenty of clothes and no food. Mattress store, where you can sleep. A dollar store that has cheap goods and poor quality food, a hardware store that contains tools and crafting materials, hair salon, which does contain crafting ingredients, although they said you're going to have to be creative in what you make, grocery store, which contains large quantity of food, and it is a large Target. So be careful while you're going through there. There is a bookstore, which is very interesting because they said you can read to enhance abilities, and you can also increase your comfort and decrease stress, so you can really keep an eye on that sanity meter, which I'll get into later. There's a place called Jimmy's, which gives you cheap food. There's Winslow's Burger Chain, which apparently is big enough to house players for a bit. Dick's Diner, there are 3 variations of Dick's Diner and can be occupied just like Winslow's Burger Chain. And kind of built off of the real life Safeway is Safeway, which is I think they said it was the largest structure in the game. It's a massive supermarket, very high risk, very high reward. There's various styles of hotels. There's a drive-in theater that hopefully, if everything legality-wise gets covered, they will be playing non-stop George Romero films, or at least one of them. There's a post office, there's a prison, there's a trailer park, and there's a go-kart arena. How awesome is that? The following buildings that I'm going to mention are not... they have not released their polish pass, but they are being developed right now. There's a Cube Crashers video store, and also a Jimmy Russell Bicycles and Bicycle Repair. I don't know about you guys, but I really want to be running around with a Sappy plate on, flak, and I want to be riding my bicycle around with an M4 strapped to my back. Heck yeah. Alright, so each commercial building that I just mentioned is going to have an employee-only area that has some special loot and a bathroom that can keep you stocked up on water until the pipes run dry. So, the pipes will run dry. That's interesting. I don't know what that looks like. Crafting, they haven't really delved too much into crafting right now, although they have leaked some stuff. They have the workbench, the mechanical workbench, the electric workbench, and there's also a campfire and a pot for cooking kind of stuff. I also know that there's a stove, but I'm not sure if that'll just be used primarily for warmth or if you'll actually be able to cook things on it. It's a wood burning stove, at least it looked like it in the photo that I saw. The original crafting menu that I saw was a 3x3. It looked real similar to the Minecraft kind of crafting system, and a lot of people didn't like it. The developers didn't even like it, so they're still revamping it during the recording of this video. Next thing we're going to be going over, guys, is character creation. Now, the character creation in this game is actually pretty in-depth. They covered a lot of articles of needs, and just listen, it's pretty good. So the player needs, you have 6 things that you need to watch out for to survive. You have your blood, which is like a health bar, stamina, which makes you go slower the lower it gets, obviously. Hunger and thirst, they keep the player alive, and also if you eat enough of it or drink enough of it, it increases your health. You also need to continue to eat and drink to keep your stamina high, even if your health bar is filled up, obviously, just like real life. Comfort, it keeps the player sane. I have no idea what's going to happen or what it's going to look like if your sanity runs out. Do you die? Do you just go insane and become a cannibal? I have no idea what's going to go on. Temperature. You need to keep your temperature intact. Fireplaces keep you warm, just like your clothes, by the way. If you wear gloves, then that will also help your trigger handling and weapon handling in colder climates. You get to customize your look as well as prior life occupations, which give different benefits and deficits. The occupations that are currently in the game are as follows. Pharmacist, doctor, auto mechanic, student, unemployed, electrician, police officer, park ranger, army veteran, cook, farmer, and carpenter. And these occupations are broke up into 4 categories that are passive, builder, enforcer, and healer. Continuing on, the character can carry up to 3 weapons, and also they have 9 clothing slots at least. There might be 10 if you count the gloves, but in the picture that I saw, I only counted 9 slots. And each clothing slot has its own inventory space, much like DayZ, or at least Scum, if you guys have ever played Scum. The 9 clothing slots that we have right now are glasses, helmet, mask, backpack, torso, vest, shoes, pants, and gun holster, which that gun holster that you're able to craft unlocks the 3rd weapon slot I mentioned earlier and can only be used for the melee weapons or a sidearm. When you start a game, the player starts with a few items, and one of them is going to be the Makarov, which is a so-so pistol. You also have points to spend on starting gear, but that is also dependent on the prior occupation you choose, which I covered earlier. Now, along with occupation, you also get to choose things called traits. Now, these traits are similar in the fact that they give you bonus, but they also give you a deficit, and also you don't need to choose any of them. So I'll go over those real quick. You have Universal Donor, which means that your blood can be transfused to anyone, but you can only receive one kind of blood. Afraid of the Dark, you gain a 15% HP boost and a 10% bonus to movement speed during the night, but you get a penalty of minus 15% max HP and minus 10% movement speed during the day. Unidextrous, plus 2 handling bonus to any pistol or one-handed melee weapon, but you get a minus 2 handling penalty to any rifle or two-handed melee weapon. Recovery Addict, all drugs have their effects doubled. It takes a lot more time than regular number of drugs to cause an overdose. Carrier, you are immune to getting infected by being infected with a lesser form of the infection. You become an outcast, but gain better long-term survival prospects. And finally, like I said earlier, you get a no trait. Instead of taking on a trait, you decide to pass it up. There are no bonuses or penalties associated with not taking a trait. So the traits are pretty interesting. They're pretty self-explanatory, but the one thing that's most interesting to me is the carrier trait. Because yes, you're immune by being infected with a lesser infection. However, the issue then becomes you become an outcast. So does that mean that you can't talk to NPCs or interact or get quests or get allies? Are they restricted because you are an outcast because of your infection that makes you immune? Or is it still possible, but you just need to do something else to gain their trust? I'm not sure, but we're just gonna have to find out. The next thing that we're going to be covering, guys, is weapons. Now, the weapons are awesome. They have a weightiness to them, and they're responsive because they utilize inertia. Don't get me wrong. There's not just firearms in this game. There's tons of melee options as well. And I'm going to be going over every single weapon that's in the game as of right now, guys. So buckle up. As for firearms, you have an HR-75, AK-74, HP-9, the Makarov, the E92, the G18C fully auto pistol, which is emphasized to be rare, the 1911, the Mosin Nagant, the Beretta M9, the Browning High Power, the Elder 18C, the Elder 19, a Nomad flare gun, and a Sam & Winston Bull, which is a revolver. Now, as for the sharp melee weapons, we have an axe, bayonet knife, bone saw plus cannibal variant concept, box cutter, bread knife, butcher knife, carving knife, chainsaw, chisel, fire axe, flathead screwdriver, fork hoe, garden shears, grab hoe, hand axe, handsaw, homemade machete, Anderson ice pick, kitchen knife, machete plus variants, maul, needle nose plier, pickaxe, pitchfork, rake, ridging hoe, scythe, shovel, sickle, spiked mace, splitting maul, murder knife, spelled M-E-R-D-E-R, not like you're murdering somebody with a knife. You got a Weed Slayer 9000, which sounds epic. You have a wood axe, and then we go into blunt objects, which is the baseball bat plus variants, baton, fixed and collapsible, broom, boxing gloves, brass knuckles with spiked variant, cane, crowbar, frying pan, golf club, hammer, hockey sticks, pipe wrench, pull cue, post, maul, rusted rebar, tire iron, crowbar combo, water pipe, and a wrench. Dear Lord, there's so many weapons, guys. If you guys can't find a weapon, then just don't play the game, I guess. Because there's literally, what is that, 66? There's 66 weapons in this game? That's amazing. Alright, miscellaneous gear slash PvE gear that I saw. We got medical blood bag, which can be used to refill health via blood transfusions. I have no idea how that's going to work. You got firearms, which can be armed and disarmed, can attract zombies or players, used as a trap or distraction. There's also multiple buttons on there with possible future functions. There's digital road signs that allows players to tow them around and type in custom messages. That should be amusing because most of the player base in games today are highly immature. But it could also be great for setting up traps or marketing whatever you have. So say you want to sell some medical stuff for ammo, you can just put up a sign near your base and say, yo, I'm selling meds, give me some bullets. Yeah. Alright, so there's also lanterns. There's a smartwatch which you'll start out with, which can be upgraded to a military grade watch if you find one eventually. There's also going to be a GPS, which is even better than the said military grade watch. There's also going to be a paper map that could possibly be found at gas stations, and you can also use the stars to navigate. That's right, how amazing is that? Now, why you would want to do that instead of just using a GPS or your smartwatch, I have no idea, but just know it's possible. Just know. There's also lock picks or paper clips for picking locks, and a stove. Now then, the zombies/gore system. Now, the gore system is awesome. It looks beautiful as far as gore can look beautiful, I guess. That's a weird thing to say. The GPU-based gore system that is performance-friendly and looks great. So you can just cause tons of mayhem. And being since it's based purely on your graphics card performance and power, it shouldn't be an issue. There is dismemberment, there's blood and arterial squirts. If you shoot something in the face, you'll just see blood pouring right on out of it like a waterfall. And there also is going to be zombie parkour / vaulting, so be scared and keep your doors locked. Vehicles. They can be used for storage, but you're also able to upgrade them. And I have not included a list of vehicles in here, although I know for a fact it's rather extensive. But I'm going to be going over what you can add to the vehicles. So, there's 17 of them. Get ready. We have car alarms, radios and GPS, gas containers, half-cage trailers, lights, plows, sheet metal armor, streamlined trailer, rear protection, towables, top luggage carrier, small and large, variable message sign, vehicle tow, vehicle winch, water barrel, and a window guard. Oh my gosh. Alright, on to PvP/PvE elements. They just added adaptive peeking during firefights, so if you aim down the sights near an object that's shorter than you and you're able to normally see over it, simply look down sights and aim down sights while you're near that object and you will automatically peek over the top of it. If you want to stop and go back into cover, stop aiming down the sights and you will go back into cover. They also added bullet penetration, ricochet, and bullet travel and weight for various weapons. That's legit. If you guys haven't checked out some of the firing tests on Dead Matter or Dead Matter News, check it out. They have it all on there. You can lean around corners during firefights as well. Inventory system and user interface. It does look similar to DayZ or Scum in style and allows you to carry containers that you can fill with other stuff. An example of this would be that you can carry a first aid kit that takes up one slot in your inventory, but then you can fill that container with multiple bandages or blood bags. So you can carry way more than you would. Full clothing system, like I mentioned earlier, for each piece of body, and each clothing item that you have has its own inventory space. Fortifications. You can pick up wooden boards to fortify windows and doors. You can apply metal sheeting on vehicles for extra protection. Keep doors locked if able. The undead can get through easily. And I already, oh yeah, this is totally cool, guys. Road highway signs. There's highways, and they actually put in the detail to add numbers and names to these highway exit signs. It's stinking awesome. And what's even more amazing is that they did the same thing to the license plates. Every vehicle, no matter what it is, and Dead Matter has their own unique license plate number, and they might be customizable in the future. #.ttv, by the way. Zombies can parkour and mantle over objects, which is terrifying. Something that's really cool is that when players die, they can turn into zombies. But there's good news though, so if you die to another player and you turn to a zombie and the other guy doesn't loot you for some reason, maybe you trade shots or whatever, your body that's shambling around there as a zombie will contain all the same loot that you die with. So you will respawn a few kilometers away, so if you choose to, you can go find your body, battle that mofo, and take all your stuff back. Dope. The game will have both first person and third person mode will be utilized, although depending on the server they can lock or enable either of those. Not very much information has been given on emotes, however just know that the ones that I've seen so far are the wave, thumbs up, fist, stabby, and middle fingers. What the heck stabby is, I guess you just stab in the air? I don't know. I get that, but that's there. And then this was really cool. I found this out by reading the master list. There's factions, there's first responders, cannibals, soldiers, neighborhood watch, junkers, sirens, and cultists. I have no idea what any of those guys are going to look like or what their roles will be. I don't know, man, but it's going to be awesome. But guys, I just wanted to get my foot in the door, I suppose, and hop on this Dead Matter train. There's so much information out there right now, and it's going to be releasing soon, and there's so much information spread across so many different videos and so many different places that I kind of wanted to do my best to consolidate it all into one video that has the resources right there and all your need to know information. And like I said, guys, in the description there's going to be links to the channels that I recommend you go watch if you want even more in-depth detail of the physics engines and the graphical supports and things like that, but also the master list, which I also gave some of the, which I also got some of the information from. So guys, thank you very much for listening to me blabber on for over 20 minutes. I hope you're as excited about this game as I am, because I will be covering it on my channel whenever it does come out. And remember guys, if you like scares, survival, and scavenging, consider hitting that subscribe button, hitting that bell button so you never miss a video. And I will see you in the next one. Pathfinder out.